During this hour, a musing on the air that has actually come to fruition. We were talking last week about the job situation in Niagara. We didn't have a lot of time to talk about the unemployment numbers that were terrible the Friday prior. And Canada's unemployment rate went up, a number of jobs were lost, but significantly here in the Niagara region, which had been enjoying pretty good numbers, but then went from 7.1 to about 7.9, 8%. So Niagara didn't do so well. And then, of course, we had the story of RBC over the weekend as well, and the outsourcing of Canadian office jobs and IT support jobs. So this got us talking in general about employment in Niagara and perhaps a mismatch in terms of we have people available to work, and we have people, and we have jobs sometimes available, but they don't necessarily match. And so we got into this big discussion about employment in Canada, but specifically in Niagara. And then I mentioned an idea we had that we never followed through on, and then I guess we finally followed through on with this week, because I had a number of people interested in it, and as well, Frank DeLuca from Chain Employment Services was listening to the conversation as well, and he said, I guess, Frank, that you could lend your insights and your expertise, and you could help out people who are looking for jobs. Because there was the one line of contention from somebody that said, I'd do anything. And I was like, well, I don't know if people would do anything. People say they'd do anything, but the reason why we have, for instance, temporary foreign workers in Niagara was because Canadians in large numbers would not work on farms again. So I said, well, but there are other jobs that Canadians would be willing to do and are willing to do. And Frank DeLuca, let me bring you on now. You're from Chain Employment Services, and your company's here in St. Catharines, just on the other side of downtown on Welland Avenue from us. So not that far of a walk for you. Tell us about your company. How long have you been in the Niagara region?
Well, the Chain Employment Services that in St. Catharines has only been here a year.
Okay.
But the company as itself, we have a branch office in Brampton, and so we've been around since 2007.
Okay.
So this particular, we're not new to the area because we've had experience with several of the agencies that are in the area. So we have a group of people that work with us that are experienced in the industry, and we probably have a boatload of experienced in the temporary staffing realm, I guess. Who
is your typical client in terms of a worker? When you talk about, obviously you have employers who you'd consider your clients, but at the other end you have workers who you want to match up with those employers. So the typical worker who comes to you, is there an average or an average description of them? Or are there a couple of categories where you draw them from?
There's a couple of categories. We have a very loyal temporary help group that have been with us since day one, and so they have actually followed us. About 60% of our workforce is people that stay with us and are loyal to us and continue to stay with us. And that's unusual in a temporary staffing company, so we consider ourselves unique there.
Is that indicative of people who want flexibility, or is that indicative they can't get permanent work? It would be because maybe they're loyal because they can't find permanent full-time.
They're loyal because they like it.
Okay.
They like the experiences, and they like the actual opportunities they have. They have the flexibility of having not to have to go to work and picking and choosing where they can go and what types of jobs they can do. So we have a workforce that is predominantly younger, and are experienced in a whole bunch of different things. And we do a lot of things. We are in the landscaping business, which I know you've been a part of.
Yes.
Previously.
Previous lifetime.
And so we have the landscaping. We do fire and restoration. We have a lot of temporary jobs in and around the greenhouse industry as well. So we do have generally a large percentage of people are general laborers, and we'll use that as one category.
Now, do you have situations where do you offer a lot of full-time positions, or do you have situations where temporary workers, the company will then offer them a full-time position?
In fact, that's part of our success, is that we've had lots of people that have come to us and work for us for a period of time, and we are very happy to say that they've moved on and have become supervisors, managers of the places that we actually that our clients are.
Okay.
So we're very happy to say that, and we encourage that as much as possible, because part of our service is not only just to provide the temporary, it's to provide permanent placements as well. So we try to encourage as much as possible. I mean, obviously, this temporary market that we're in, we have an opportunity to sell our services on the temporary market, but again, we have the opportunity to provide a great workforce for a short period of time, and then that's the period of time, let's call it a probationary period, where that probationary period you can pick and choose who you'd like to move on and stay on permanently. I mean, the placements are probably in the neighborhood of about 3 months. It's so many different hours, and then they are free to go to that company and work for them full time for hopefully the rest of their lives.
If you're an employer, this would be, not to sound too I don't know how this comes across, but this is a bit of a buyer's market, isn't it? If you're an employer, that you have a lot of people that if you have the higher the unemployment rate, the easier it is for you to be choosy to make sure you find the right person for your organization. That some jobs require a different skill set or a different personality. So I guess employers could be willing, with a larger pool of available workers, find the person that's right for them.
Yes, and the higher the unemployment rate, the larger pool of temporary workers there is. That's just the nature of what happens. So there's a larger pool to pick from, and you also have people that are actually competing with all the temporary agencies, competing to work at several agencies. We have people that will work at several agencies in the area, not just the one. So we're really competing for those people as well.
Frank DeLuca from Chain Employment Services. Before we take a quick break, and then we'll come back and start with Judith, who is one of our job seekers this morning. What if someone wants to use your service as a worker? What jobs do you generally have? As you said, there is landscaping, and there's greenhouse work. I believe you have driver positions as well.
Yes, we have AZ drivers. We have CNC programmers. We'll have
what's a CNC program?
They program machines in the manufacturing facility.
Oh, okay.
We have manufacturing jobs.
So you
temporary
have
inspection jobs.
Some jobs which require little in terms of certification, but there are some, like a driver needs a certificate, needs proper licensing.
Yes, need all the proper licensing.
CNC, I imagine you just can't hire a guy off the street.
Yes, definitely need some sort of certification.
Right, okay.
Certification.
Okay.
And, I'm just looking through the fact is that we shipping receiving is one of our big areas with forklift drivers.
Okay.
And we require forklift license, so it pays more than the regular job.
How long does it take to get a forklift license? What's the cost of a forklift license?
You know what? That is a good question, and I don't know the answer, and I wish I did.
I don't assume it's a 3-year program at Niagara College, but it's more than a weekend. I think
it's a week.
A week, okay, all right.
And again, the costs
a couple $100 probably. Someone will know. Send me a text in terms of.
In fact, we have several forklift trainers probably listening to the program too as well.
It'd be because it's so interesting where it's a week, but a lot of people that hurdle of, well, I can't scrape together $250 or $500 or whatever it is. But in terms of, I imagine the hourly pay, it pays itself off probably in not too long of a time, where probably in the first month you get all your money back, and then after that you've set yourself up for a much higher wage.
Welding. That's the key one.
Niagara Welding Academy.
Yes, I was going to use one of your sponsors.
One of the sponsors, Niagara Welding Academy.
There are constantly ads in the paper in the Niagara region for welders. You would be surprised at the number. And in fact, that's a little longer. Niagara Welding Academy. Oh, absolutely.
Is months rather than a week or something like that. But again, they have flexible hours, so you could work and learn to be a welder, and then 6, 9, 12 months later get a full-time job as a welder. So one of the strengths of Niagara Welding Academy is their flexibility, and one of the strengths of Chain Employment, you have a lot of jobs with not the jobs themselves aren't flexible, but you could find a job that fits your schedule, couldn't you?
Absolutely. We have an opportunity where for a certain skill set, we will provide people for that particular opportunity. So it goes to see if people that have different educational backgrounds, educational levels. We have people that are recently have come to the country, are legally allowed to work in Canada and are able, but they don't speak the language very well. So we're not going to put them in a customer service job, but we will put them in a landscaping job where the requirements are just to understand the basics about safety and stuff like that. But that's all they need to know, and they don't need to interact with other people as much as they would like to. But we also do, even on top of that, we'll pair them up with somebody who speaks their language. And therefore, there's an opportunity to pool the opportunity for communication so that there's really no communication gap.
10:17 is our time. Quick break on the program. When we come back, we will have our inaugural job seeker. Judith from St. Catharines is here, and we'll talk about your resume, your work experience, and then what you're looking for future employment. This is 610 CKTB.
Anybody's helping in any way. Now these days are gone, I'm not so self-assured. Now I find I've changed my mind.
Who is it?
It's the tax man.
Mike isn't home.
I never said your name.
You can't avoid the tax man. But CKTB and Nature Park Eco Resort and Spa and Sunwing Vacations can help you with your tax evasion. Play weekdays to win U-File tax software. We invent it easy. And instantly qualify for an all-inclusive tax-free vacation for two to the Natura Park Eco Resort and Spa in Punta Cana. Courtesy of Sunwing Vacations. Experience the difference. Play tax evasion and win. Details at 610cktb.com.
A lot of people like to ask, hey, what's in it for me? Well, the answer is everything. When you buy a 2013 Dodge Journey Canada Value Package, starting from $19,995. And when you step up to the Ultimate Journey Package, there's even more, with no-cost options like rear backup camera and Uconnect hands-free, for total discounts of up to $5,625. See your Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram retailer for details.
Hi, this is George from Joe Fetta's Greek Village. The weekend is a time to relax with friends and family. Come and experience Greek hospitality at its finest at Joe Fetta's. A little taste of Mediterranean sun. Enjoy the flavors of Greece. Greek salad, souvlaki, roast potatoes, our famous flaming saganaki, and baklava. Perfect for celebrating a few days off. Joe Fetta's Greek Village, 290 Lake Street, St. Catharines. Call 646-3399. You can visit us at joefetta.com.
When was the last time your drive home was fun? If you listened to Larry Fedoric, then it was probably just the other day. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the ride. Larry Fedoric, weekdays at 2 on 610 CKTB.
Here's a look at your weather forecast. Mix of sun and cloud today. High of 20 degrees. Cloudy skies tonight, low down to 10. Showers ending late in the afternoon. Then a mix of sun and cloud on Tuesday, high of 14. Sunshine on Wednesday, high of 11. Right now in downtown St. Catharines, under mainly sunny skies, our temperature's 10 degrees. Weather is brought to you by Corcoran and Partners at Asante Wealth Management. Today, tomorrow, together.
Hi, it's Andy from Pix Motor Clinic. We're a family-owned lawn, garden, and tractor equipment dealer.
And I'm Steve, Andy's son. We are in the center of the Niagara region at 2514 Highway 20 in Fawn Hill.
If you need repairs to your lawn equipment, push mower, rider, tractor, we'll fix it in a timely fashion with genuine parts at fair prices.
Or we'll assist you with the purchase of your new lawn and garden equipment. Plus, we offer pickup and delivery.
This spring, the Stihl MS-170 gas chainsaw is available for only $199.95. The BG55 Stihl gas blower, only $179.95. And the legendary FS38 Stihl gas trimmer is only $149.95 at Pix Motor Clinic. Prices in effect till June 30th. All Stihl products come with full setup and assembly. Stihl, the #1 selling brand in Canada. Find Pix Motor Clinic at their new larger location at 2514 Highway 20 East in Fawn Hill. PixMotorClinic.com and Stihl.ca.
Turn pain at the pumps into gain at the pumps. Right now, when you purchase a new Hyundai, pay only 99 cents per liter on gas until 2014. Plus, get 0% financing for up to 84 months on select models like the Elantra, winner of the 2012 AJAC Canadian Car of the Year. Own it for as little as $94 bi-weekly with zero down. Hurry, the Hyundai Double Savings event is on, but only for a limited time. Visit HyundaiCanada.com or your local dealer for details.
You're listening to Tom McConnell on News Talk 610 CKTB and online at 610CKTB.com. Call Tom McConnell now at 905-688-CKTB, 1-877-610-CKTB, or pound 610 on the Bell Mobility Network.
10:22 is our time. Coming up after 10:30, I have two more job seekers. Terry from Beamsville, Rick from Welland, but joining us, our first job seeker from St. Catharines, Judith Verge. Judith, how are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you.
Now, when I look at your resume, for 32 years, it seems you from if my math right? I can't even do math today. So from 1981 to 2007, you worked at a dry cleaners.
Yes.
And then you worked for, I guess, kind of the same company for Hamdani Textiles, who operated the dry cleaners. So for the last 6 years, you worked as a clothing sorter grader for Hamdani Textiles here in St. Catharines, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
And then, so you've been steadily employed for, my math is right, 32 years.
Yes.
And so can I ask what happened in terms of they closed down? Did they lay you off?
Shortage of work is what we were told.
Okay. All right. And now, so what are you looking for?
Anything to pay the bills.
Anything to pay the bills. All right. What type of job would you like? You have a lot of experience in dry cleaning, textiles, clothing. Obviously, your skills would be appreciated in that setting, but does it have to be in the clothing industry?
No, not really.
Are you willing to go outside of St. Catharines?
Not too far, but yeah.
Okay, but what would be too far? Welland?
No, that would be all right.
All right. Do you have access to a car?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Niagara Falls, would that be too far?
No, I've worked in the falls before.
Okay. Fort Erie, probably too far? Depending on the wage, I guess. Yeah. That's always the calculation.
Yeah.
And so, but you're looking closer to home. I mean, you live in St. Catharines, so it'd be nice to, have a job, St. Catharines, Thorold, or the immediate area.
Oh, yes.
And how long have you been looking for a job?
Only a couple of weeks. I just got laid off, so.
Okay, well, good for you. So, I mean, just got laid off, but you need to, as you said, need a job to pay the bills. So, and what have you gone to a lot of places? Have you put your resume at a lot of locations?
I've emailed a few resumes to jobs that were advertised online.
Okay.
That's about all I've done so far.
Have you received any response? Have you had any interviews?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Have you gone to any employment agencies, or have you talked to Human Resources Canada about looking for work?
Yes, I've gone to an employment agency, yes.
Okay. And what have they told you?
Not too much yet, because I just got into it. So
okay, good. So you're just starting out in this process, and now it's with great enthusiasm. Unfortunately, your job ended a couple of weeks ago. And and obviously this is it's going to seem like an obvious question, but you're hoping for work sooner rather than later. You're not desperate, but you'd like to work, wouldn't you?
Oh yes, I'm used to working.
There you go. You're used to working. Frank, let me Judith's experience in terms of is there a lot of opportunity for someone like Judith? Not necessarily with your company, but overall.
Okay,
and
I'll answer the first question first.
Okay.
Absolutely. We, there's opportunity with our chain employment services, but I do believe there's opportunity all over. If given what her skill set is, if she's, again, I'll use an example, is if you're comfortable with a phone, there are Sitel, there's Convergys, and there's Minax that are companies that offer customer service, telephone customer service. That's one.
Are you comfortable, do you enjoy talking to people? Are you comfortable with customer service, or do you prefer to be behind the scenes?
I prefer behind the scenes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Then on our end, we have opportunities in the greenhouse industry. There's lots of opportunity right now in regards to the hotel industry in Niagara Falls. There are If you go on Job Bank right now, you'll have a host of jobs. In the hotel industry, working numerous different jobs, and so those are behind the scene jobs. So that would be maybe more to her liking.
Have you ever considered pivoting away from your prior experience and going to someplace like Frank mentioned, the hotel industry?
Yes, I that's where I've been putting applications into housekeeping in hotels.
Okay.
That kind of
All right.
work.
Anything, is there something you would not like to do? Is there something that, the job becomes available and you look at it and you think, I don't want to do that? That it may be available currently, but you, for whatever reason, it doesn't bother me. Just that this is not the work you'd prefer.
Telephone work. I don't like telephones.
Fair enough.
Then don't go there.
So you would not encourage, if someone doesn't like the work, because generally from my experience, people who don't like the job they're in either don't make great employees or end up probably leaving the job much sooner than you or your companies that you work for would like, don't they?
Yes, and we'd want to link up their skill set to exactly what they're looking for, rather than put them somewhere where they're unhappy right from the start. Because again, our opportunities are very important for us to leave a good first impression in regards to our temporary work. So we wouldn't want to put somebody in a position where they're unhappy.
Judith, would you classify yourself as a hard worker?
Yes, I am.
All right, and previously your jobs, clothes sorter and grader and working at the dry cleaner, well, not heavy industrial. Would we classify that as sort of as light industrial
Yeah, that's
work, Frank?
That's light industrial. You wouldn't be lifting heavy bundles of clothing and stuff like that. I'm familiar with Hamdani, but if there would be, heavy industrial would be working with the metals, working with cleaning fluids, and really actually lifting probably about 20 pounds per event.
Well, I used to load dry cleaning machines. That's
okay. So, but as well, also you're not looking for a desk job either.
Not really. That
you're active. And you're also used to, as we say, light industrial work. So you're looking for, there's usually a physical component to your work as well, isn't there?
Yes.
Obviously, that would help in some circumstances, and others where, they're looking for someone with office skills. Well, we'll get to a qualification later on. But is there opportunities for that?
Well, one of the things that she has extremely going for her, she's outgoing.
Okay.
She's gone ahead and, and unfortunately, as due to a shortage of work, is looking for something only 2 weeks after she's left the job. So that's great, and that's a positive thing. If I'm looking at an application, I'm looking at a resume, I'm thinking, wow, this person has been out of the workforce 2 weeks and is now, willing to do whatever it takes to get a job.
Employers always like people who take the initiative, don't they?
Absolutely. In fact, when we're talking about the emailing, there's a suggestion that, emailing might not be enough. Is that, in actually visiting the places that you are going to. I know that they frown on it in some instances, but, it's always nice to see a friendly face, and it's always harder to say no to somebody when they're facing you.
On that note, we have to take a quick break for the news. When we come back, we'll talk to Judith a little more, and then Rick will join us with his experience and his expectations. This is 10:30 is our time. This is News Talk 610 CKTB.
A singer in a smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume.
Susan, this database won't give me the reports I need. How old is this thing?
It's ancient, and it keeps me stuck at my desk just to look up a phone number. Who should I call to get it updated?
Need a database that works for your business? Hi, I'm Bill Jansen at Future Access. Our professional web designers build efficient web-based systems to manage your customers, events, orders, and much more. Don't be chained to the office. Our systems let you work from anywhere. Visit futureaccess.ca and let Future Access free you from your office. That's futureaccess.ca.
From the 610 CKTB News Center, Niagara, now.
Good morning, it's 10:30. I'm Tammy Jenneret. Here's what's making news. OPP asking for witnesses to a crash last night on the 405 to give them a call. 3 females sent to hospital after the car they were riding in careened out of control on the westbound 405 on the ramp to the QEW and rolled. All 3 were taken to hospital. One of the females was lifted by air ambulance in serious condition. Liberals will be rallying around their new leader in the House of Commons today. Justin Trudeau claimed victory last evening, sweeping more than 80% of the available points in a field of 6 candidates. He's imploring Liberals to end a generation of infighting. And a Dutch political party is launching a petition to cut the new king's annual salary even before he takes the throne. The new Republican Fellowship says when Crown Prince Willem-Alexander becomes king at the end of the month, he'll earn $1.1 million a year. And the party says that's more than twice what Barack Obama makes, 4 times that of the president of Germany, and 5 times that of the king of Spain or the Dutch prime minister. Checking CKTB time saver traffic, NRP reporting a collision-free drive on in-town routes. At the border, we're only seeing minimal delays on the Peace and Queenston-Lewiston. And over the Welland Canal, the Queenston Street Bridge is in the up position. Your forecast, gorgeous day in the forecast. Mix of sun and cloud, the high hitting 20 today. Cloudy tonight, showers overnight, windy, the low near 10. Showers continue tomorrow, continuing windy, the high 14. Right now, 10 degrees. For more news in Niagara, go to 610ckTB.com or text us anytime with your comments and news tips at 61010. I'm Tammy Generette. News next at 11 on News Talk 610 CKTB.
Welcome to Rogers Tech Talk. Go, Allison.
My sister says Rogers Smart Home Monitoring is better than my traditional security system. What don't I know, Raj?
Well, Allison, unlike traditional security systems that rely on phone lines, only Rogers Smart Home Monitoring offers the dual protection of both broadband internet and wireless networks, so your home is always connected. Without this, your home simply isn't as secure.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Well then, you should know that Rogers Smart Home Monitoring lets you use your smartphone or computer to know instantly when your kids walk in the front door safely. You can even arm and disarm your system and control the thermostat and lights.
That's so cool. I kind of wish I didn't already have a security system.
That's okay. You can upgrade your system easily and even keep your hardware.
You know what, Raj? This knowing thing is awesome.
Oh, I know. No upfront cost packages are now available in the Golden Horseshoe. Conditions apply. Call 1-888-ROGERS-1 for details. Rogers Smart Home Monitoring. Now you'll know.
It was a Sunday or a Monday when they appeared out of the fog.
Yar! Buy one fish dinner and get the second half price at Lakeport Fish and Chips.
BOGO at Lakeport Fish and Chips every Sunday and Monday. Buy one dinner, get the second for half price. Enjoy BOGO on cod, haddock, and pollock. Get hooked on their English-style fish and chips. Lakeport Fish and Chips. 3 great locations, 1 great taste. Lakeport and Linwell, St. Catharines. Lundy's Lane and Kalar, Niagara Falls. And now open at Highway 8 and DeWitt in Stony Creek. LakeportFishandChips.com.
Spring is finally here. Let's think about outdoor activities like picnics. It's Kathy from Raymaker's Dutch Imports. Pick up some of our sliced deli meats and cheeses for subs. And we offer a wide variety of spices to put that extra zing in your barbecues. Don't forget our cookies from Holland and local baked goods and pastries arriving weekly. Plus bulk sweets, licorice, and many flavors of candy rolls. Check out our bi-weekly in-store specials. Raymaker's Dutch Imports, 579 Ontario Street, St. Catharines. You don't have to be Dutch to shop Raymakers.
Are feelings of sadness or disappointment affecting your life? Brain Matters can help with depression. Go to the advisor section under Lifestyle and Entertainment at 610ckTB.com.
You're listening to Tom McConnell on News Talk 610 CKTB and online at 610ckTB.com. Call Tom McConnell now at 905-688-CKTB, 1-877-610-CKTB, or pound 610 on the Bell Mobility Network.
35 minutes after 10 o'clock, Judith Furge is one of our job seekers in studio today. Frank DeLuca from Chain Employment Services as well. As we host our inaugural CKTB job fair, I'll get to Rick in just a second. Are employers discriminatory in terms of age? When Judith has a lot of experience, but she's not 25 years old, So do they look at someone and think, well, I don't know how long they're going to be here, or do they look at, well, she's got a lot of experience. Obviously she knows what she's doing. Do you find your employers and I don't mean your employers are discriminatory, but does age work against many job seekers? Because I know a lot of older job seekers will say it's tougher for them to find a job.
In this economy, no. I would have said maybe 5 or 6 years ago, absolutely. But now you'll see Walmart has done, I guess, a good job of hiring people, the older people in regards to the job. So they've done a great job, and people are starting to realize, as employers are realizing, how important it is to have people that have had a lot of experience, because there's a work ethic that seems to be unfortunately leaving our younger people, and people that have had lots of experience have a work ethic that's unparalleled in this market.
So when Judith, gives you a resume, and in terms of there are 2 jobs on it that go back 32 years, that speaks to the type of experience that's tough to find. But what else she is recently unemployed, very recently unemployed. So she's only been here a couple of weeks, trying to, get a job. She wants a job. She's always worked. She wants to keep on working. What other advice would you give her and workers in her situation?
Well, most importantly is that if you're seeking some quick employment, Chain Employment Service is a great opportunity, because we do have temporary work, and it's on the daily basis. But the other side of it is that you need to let your friends know that you're no longer working, and your extended group of people, because there's always seems to be word of mouth seems to be a great opportunity to get people work. And one of the things that we had touched on earlier was we were talking about that age it would be a factor, but somebody's recommendation from one job to another is one of those things that just seems to resonate with people. And as I know Judith, and Judith is a great worker, and you know what, she would be great at your place. And conversations occur almost daily in our lives. So that'd be one piece of advice. The other piece of advice is that I think you're already doing it, which is great, is that you're on the internet, you're looking at Job Bank, and you're looking at those various sites. There's tons of those sites now. There's Wow Jobs, there's Indeed.ca, and there's just a whole and then the agencies themselves we have our jobs listed on our site, and so do all the other agencies.
So, are you encouraged after listening to Frank? Are you encouraged about now that you've come in and put your resume, and both of us think that wow, you know what, you look like you have at least the thing that I'm most impressed with is the desire and the work ethic that you'd be a real asset in terms of someone looking for your position.
Well, I bit encouraged, yeah.
I had now I don't know if you're interested, however, when we talk about the hotel, so Nat sends, hey Tom, if you look on my Facebook, you'll see that I posted this picture for one of my customers looking for help at his motel about a month ago. No one replied. Clearly there's a lot of people who don't want to do just anything. If you could mention on the show, maybe you could have better luck. It was the Cavalier Motel in Niagara Falls on, I believe, Center Street. So I'll pass that number along to you, and hopefully you got information from Frank here, and hopefully you're successful. And if someone's listening and would like to, you can always send me an email, and I'll pass along the information. So if you think Judith sounds like the type of worker for your organization, you can always send me an email, and I will pass along the contact info for her to talk to. Email address McConnell@610CKTB.com. Now, our next applicant, Rick Bartolomeo from Welland. Rick, how are you?
Good morning, Tom, gentlemen. Frank, I'm doing fine.
Excellent. Rick, you have been unemployed for how long now?
Since September.
Okay, and previously you were working as a facility supervisor at Brock University. What did that job entail?
Looking after the custodial staff there, primarily on midnight shift. One thing I must say I don't have on my resume, I left there to pursue an opportunity at Lakeside Steel as a production supervisor.
Okay.
On a rotating shift. And I think, as you're well aware of, they've downsized. My department's closed. They've shifted that production down to their Alabama plant. So, so here I am.
All right. And you've been unemployed for a couple of 6 months now or so?
Yep, 6 months.
Okay, and you have a lot of supervisory experience. I see facility supervisor at Brock, operations supervisor at Dana, supervisor at General Motors, so supervisor at Atlas Steel. Right. So you've always been in a supervisory position in terms of looking after people.
Correct, yeah. That's essentially where my experience is, and unfortunately it's mostly with the industrial base. Other than the fact with Brock and at GM, I was a facility supervisor as well there. I did a 1-year contract. Couldn't get there full on base with them as a full-time position, so I left there to go to Dana, and then, as you know, Dana's closed as well, the frame plant in Thorold, and so I moved on from there. But, I've been gainfully employed for 25 years.
What kind of position are you looking for? What type of a job are you willing to work at?
Right now, to be honest with you, Tom, I'm on EI, so I'm looking. I don't want to close any doors. I'm keeping my options open. Obviously, want to take my experience with me. If there's something in supervision, there have been some positions I've applied to in the region here. I do have a background in production planning and inventory control as well. So it's a good fit with both of them together, but unfortunately there's not a whole lot of positions available or vacancies available.
Have you, obviously you've gotten your resume out, and have you been to many interviews in the last couple of months?
Yes, I've been to a few. Probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 since I've been off. And, it's encouraging to the point where you get the interviews. I've been to a couple second interviews, final interviews, but because of the industry, the last 2 that I've had were in the floral business, and I don't have any experience other than the fact of being in supervision and inventory control, and someone with that, it's a niche market, so someone with that background, has procured the job, right? And here I am. The results are the same. But, it is encouraging to a certain extent that I'm getting the interviews. And, you have to stay positive, so at least my resume is doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's getting me some phone calls and interviews.
Are you willing to travel beyond Welland?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm looking all over the Niagara region, probably as far as Hamilton, Tom.
Okay. And obviously, if you're looking as far as Hamilton, you have access to a car.
Yes.
Okay. When you see a resume like this, Frank, and certainly different from our next applicant, and certainly different from Judith, with a lot of supervisory experience, obviously those jobs are fewer and far between, but with a cursory examination, you think Rick's prospects look fairly decent. It's just a matter of time and finding the right job?
Oh, yeah. Actually, just taking a quick look here, I think you have a wealth of experience. I think that you are probably doing the right thing by looking at supervisory positions. I would be, if I was to give a suggestion, I'm looking at it very quickly, is that there are a lot of, between here and Oakville, there's a lot of agencies which actually are manufacturing oriented, that actually specialize in your type of work. So those are agencies that I would be literally knocking on their door with your resume and letting them know that you are available to work, because I think that for myself, I see supervisory jobs, managers' jobs come up. And with your wealth of experience, I mean, there is an opportunity for a management position, not only a supervisory position, because your next step would have been, in your process, you would have been a manager.
Yes, absolutely. It's unfortunate. I thought that, I was at Atlas, and I thought I'd be there for 30 years and retire, and, those days are gone. So you got to stay flexible, keep your options open, and I never thought I'd be in the facilities group, but I mean, if something like that came up, surely pursue it. I've been working with the Job Gym. They've been very, very good. The one in Welland here, they sent me to, I think about 2 or 3 interviews in the last 3 months. So, trying to get out there and letting the people know. I don't go out as much as I used to. It's part of it is, I think, the stigma that's involved when you're on unemployment. You've been off for a while. Because first thing that comes up, where you working, where you been, like, what have you been doing? Well, been looking, but I'm not working. It gets frustrating, I don't have to tell the people that are out there, and especially in this area. So,
let me ask you, Rick and Frank, give me your input on this. A lot of these jobs, would it be beneficial for Rick? I know it just takes one job in terms of to land it, but do you find it beneficial if you go to companies that are not advertising for positions? And then is he better off time management wise, as you talk to about agencies that specialize in industrial or manufacturing situations, to make sure get in there, let them know, because they certainly have more contacts than Rick would, and they would certainly have an in with all. So should he be doing both of those as well?
Yeah, I think that the first suggestion in regards to, and these are recruiters, they actually basically work on behalf. They get a fee and from the company, and they look for particular jobs, and those jobs would be supervisor on up to the vice president of a company. The other thing is that I'm not sure if you're the thought process is there, but is it, if you're concerned about the stigma of a job, why not just go and take a job? Just go grab a job, literally just for the experience of working out there, and then use that as you are actually working, and you can add that to your resume, and it could be just a job just to get you out of the house and get you, and maybe in a manufacturing facility, and just temporary, and as you continue to still look for a job, and that could be.
Sorry, Frank. That's what my option is right now, and obviously, yes, if something like that came up, I would pursue it, most definitely.
I have an email that came, or text message that came in, Rick. National Steel Car in Hamilton needs supers. Mm-hmm. So you may want to get onto your Google box website. And their website and see as well. Hey, Trevor says, Tom, I've worked at Dana, Atlas Steel, and Lakeside. Tell Rick to keep his head up. It took me 9 months to find work. I'm now working in Hamilton in the fuel business, says Trevor. And for Niagara, Dave says, Ian Martin recruits industrial workers for Niagara.
Okay, that's good to know.
All right, so
yeah, and Rick,
hopefully
you know what? I'd want you to send me your information electronically at frank@chainemploymentservices.com. And I'll be more than happy to send you a list of, I would say there's about 6 or 7 firms that are like Ian Martin. Ian Martin is one of them. Mm-hmm. Aerotech is another one I can remember. And we, from time to time, have supervisor jobs. We don't have one today, but if you are in the market, I mean, there's several different groups, and we'd like to, we'd like to see you working, and we'd like to see everybody working in Niagara. So I have no problem in giving you a list and some contact information for a bunch of the agencies that really specialize in your type of work.
Okay, I appreciate it, Frank, and I will do that today. And that's one of the main reasons I signed up for this. I was listening to Tom's show last week and listen to him most every day, especially when I'm home.
I better not lose a listener over this, but I guess if I lose you, if I lose you, Rick, I'll lose you. I can accept that.
No, but and I been listening to 610 from John Michael days way back when, but and so I thought it was an option, and that's why I pursued it, and that's why I'm on the phone. So I want to network with more people, and keep hope, and there's got to be a job that's out there for me. So and just maybe I'm not pursuing it right now, but I want to keep all the options open. But
Rick, I appreciate your forthrightness, and I know it takes a little bit of bravery to come on, just like Judith. Thank you very much. A little bit of bravery to come on and kind of expose yourself and say, hey, I need a job, because as you said, sometimes there's that stigma there. Mm-hmm. So, Rick, thanks so much for joining us, and I hope this works out for you.
Okay, thanks, gentlemen. Take care.
You too. 10:50 is our time. Quick break in the program. Our final job application when we come back here on 610 CKTB.
12 different cuts of succulent meats, a centuries-old tradition of cooking on an open fire, a flavorful experience like no other. Brasa Brazilian Steakhouse is a dining celebration. Immerse yourself in Brazilian culture. Enjoy all-you-can-eat Brazilian barbecue, carved tableside at Niagara's hottest steakhouse. See the menu at brasaniagara.com. Brasa Brazilian Steakhouse, open evenings for dinner at the Hilton Hotel and Suites, across from the Falls View Casino.
Time now for Step Beyond. Travel writer Liz Fleming takes you in exciting new directions.
We've all done it. Rolled up to airport security and realized we've accidentally packed our favorite pair of nail clippers or manicure scissors in the carry-on. Some of us are even repeat offenders. Take my brother Bob, for example, who always carries a penknife in his pocket and regularly forgets to remove it before security. Rather than having to keep buying new pen knives, Bob's come up with an ingenious plan. He dashes to the nearest airport shop, buys an envelope, and mails the knife home to himself. Brilliant. Next time you find yourself staring at some soon-to-be-confiscated treasure, remember, airports all have mailboxes and stores that sell stamps, in case you don't have any of your own. And just think, when you come home, you'll have something waiting for you in the mailbox that isn't a bill or junk mail.
Liz Fleming writes for the Toronto Star and is managing editor of naturallyinniagara.ca.
Thankfully, our traffic reports flow better than the actual traffic. Get up-to-the-minute traffic and weather when you need it. Niagara's News Talk 610 CKTB.
Here's a look at your weather forecast brought to you by Corcoran and Partners at Asante Wealth Management. Today, tomorrow, together. Mix of sun and cloud. High of 20 degrees. Cloudy skies tonight. Showers beginning before morning. A low of 10 overnight. Tuesday, showers will end later in the afternoon. Could see some sun after that. High of 14. Sunshine on Wednesday. High of 11. Right now in downtown St. Catharines, under mainly sunny skies, it is 10 degrees.
Larry Fedoric knows a lot about everything, and he'll tell you all about it.
I know sometimes when I'm not on the air, you miss me, right? I know I miss you too. You know, you could find me hanging around Facebook, Twitter, online. Check me out. And there's also the podcasts and the blogs on our website, 610ckTB.com.
Larry Fedoric, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6, only on the one voice for Niagara, News Talk 610 CKTB.
At Audi, spring isn't just a season. It's a spirit of growth, of progress. It's the joy of seeing something beautiful come to life. That spirit defines everything we do. Spring has Vorsprung. The Spring has Vorsprung sales event is on now, with lease rates from 1.9% and $1,500 spring event bonus on most models.
Details at St. Catharines Audi, 114 Hartsel Road.
You're listening to Tom McConnell on News Talk 610 CKTB and online at 610ckTB.com. Call Tom McConnell now at 905-688-CKTB, 1-877-610-CKTB, or pound 610 on the Bell Mobility Network.
Welcome back to CKTB's inaugural job fair. Frank DeLuca from Chain Employment Services is with us. Judith was our first job seeker. Rick was our second. And our third is Terry Dowding from Beamsville, who, different than our previous applicants, has an extensive amount of office experience, but has been unemployed for a long time. In terms of, it's been a couple of years for Terry being unemployed. How do employers look at that when you're going for a job? Obviously, it's not in the case of Judith where you've just been unemployed for a couple of weeks. But I mean, do they discount or take points off for someone who's been unemployed for a while?
Unfortunately, yes, I would say they do. Okay, but I think that maybe in Terry's case there might be some explanations that can move in her favor. Maybe childcare, stuff like that. That people need to understand is that when you're having children and in their younger years, people tend to decide that I want to take some time off and spend some time with my children, and I think that's a great explanation for a period of time.
Okay.
Unfortunately, when the time period is so much longer, then there's questions being asked, and unfortunately, sometimes we can't explain certain times off because we just haven't had time.
Now, wouldn't she be a great candidate for clerical temporary work to fill in terms of to give her more recent experience?
Right. I mean, my first suggestion would be is to run over to get some temporary work and get some experience so that she could actually add that to her resume. And in fact, looking at her right now, just looking briefly at it, I mean, she's customer service, telephone service. I mean, there's Convergys, there's Cytel, there's Minex. I mean, there's several different groups that I think that would fit her fine.
when we look at, she seems to have, in terms of being clerical support, administrative assistant, she seems, I know there was a sea change from when everything was a typewriter to when everything became digital. However, to get those skills, she seems to know, the Word, the data entry, the Microsoft Excel. So it's not a matter of learning that. She seems to have all the skills there, but now it's just a matter of getting into a place. Are there clerical positions that, or I guess it would be tough to get that perfect job, but in terms of, are there short-term clerical positions besides temporary, like fill-in jobs, a couple months, 3 months, maybe someone's on mat leave. Is this where she'd find an ideal situation?
Maternity leaves would be a great opportunity for her for short-term. Unfortunately, the tax season is somewhat over, so this would have been, the last 3 months would have been a great opportunity for her to work in an accounting type background and work in administrative assistance. And right now, you're coming into the spring session right now. There is, in regards to customer service, now what's going to happen is you're going to see Niagara Falls transform into its after the May 1st. Or after the Blossom Festival weekend, whatever that is these days. It's for the first week of May. Then you're going to see the tourism market work the weekends first.
Now, in Terry's instance, I know that she is hampered by lack of transportation. So she's in the Beamsville, Grimsby area, and probably would have to stay there locally. Outside of administrative work, though, you have a lot of customers. Are they in Beamsville for greenhouse work?
We have right outside of Beamsville, so it would be probably a walk for her to go to that job. So, I mean, if she's listening, please send a resume to me at frank@chainemploymentservices.com, and we'll see what we can do. Can't promise her anything, but given her history, she has a lot of opportunities, not only from a general labor standpoint. The skill set is not, there's not very much to the skill set in regards to general labor, so she has some other skills that we can use as in other positions. I know that we've placed bookkeepers and such as well.
And is there ever an opportunity where someone comes in and has a different skill set than, as you said, general labor, it's, show up and work hard and you'll thrive there. But companies, it's almost like your foot in the door. And then because you're familiar with the company and they like your work ethic, they'll transition you and use your skill set more to, in her case, she'd probably want to be in the office.
Well, greenhouse would be a great opportunity for her.
Okay, so that does happen. 10:58 is our time. We'll take a quick break on the program.